Hello everyone, welcome to Way to Success Frame. Today I am come up with new lesson, that is Constitutional Design. This is chapter 3 of NCERT class 9 Political Science. So let's see the overview of this lesson. In this lesson, we ask some basic questions about constitutional design, such as why do we need a constitution? How are constitutions drawn up? Who designs them and in what way? What are the values that shape the constitutions in democratic states? These are some of the basic questions asked in this chapter. The constitution of a country is a set of written rules that are accepted by all people living together in a country. It is the supreme law that determines the relationship among citizens and also the relationship between the people and government. One recent instance of designing constitution for a democratic state is that of South Africa. We begin this chapter by looking at what happened there and how the South Africans went about this task of designing their constitution. Democratic Constitution in South Africa. Many Europeans had settled in South Africa during the 17th and 18th centuries. They followed the policy of apartheid. The system of apartheid divided the people and labeled them as blacks and whites on the basis of their skin color. Besides these two groups, there were people of mixed races who were called colored. The white rulers treated all non-whites as inferiors. The blacks and the colored people couldn't live in the areas inhabited by the whites. The blacks and the Indians began to raise their voice against the oppressive apartheid system. The African National Congress was the first organization that led the struggle against apartheid. Nelson Mandela led the struggle of the non-whites against the South African government. Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964. The apartheid government came to an end on 26 April 1994. After the emergence of the new democratic South Africa, black leaders appealed to fellow blacks to forgive the whites. Nelson Mandela was liberated from prison and he became the president of South Africa. The whites, blacks, and colored population of the country together formulated the constitution of the country. They decided that every section of society should be part of the constitution and should get equal rights. Do we need a constitution? Yes. A constitution has written laws accepted by people living together in a country. It generates trust and coordination. It specifies how a government should be constituted. It lays down limits on the powers of the government. It expresses the aspirations of the people about creating a good society. Making of the Constitution of India. Indian Constitution informally had begun to take shape during the later years of the British rule. In 1928, Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders had drafted a constitution for the people of India. In 1931, in the Karachi session of the Indian National Congress, discussions took place on the Constitution of India. All leaders agreed on the universal adult franchise, protection of the rights of the minorities, and right to equality to be granted to the citizens. Many of our leaders were inspired by the ideals of French Revolution, the practice of parliamentary democracy in Britain, and the Bill of Rights in the US. The socialist revolution in Russia had inspired many Indians to think of shaping a system based on social and economic equality. The Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly was a body of elected representatives which drafted the constitution of our country. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946. Its first meeting was held in December 1946. The Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950. Why should we accept the Constitution framed 50 years ago? Our Constitution has granted basic rights and freedom to all citizens. Any kinds of discriminations are illegal, and minority communities are given protection from any kind of discrimination. Constituent Assembly represented people from various regions and linguistic and religious communities. It worked in a systematic, open, and consensual manner. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussion. Discussions took place on each clause of the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly took 3 years to prepare the Constitution of the country. It is the longest written constitution in the world. Every document presented and every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly has been recorded and preserved. These are called Constituent Assembly debates. Philosophy of the Constitution. The Constitution begins with a short statement of its basic values. This is called the Preamble to the Constitution. Our Constitution begins from "We the people of India." The Preamble declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. It also secures the principle of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity to all citizens. The Preamble is the soul of Indian Constitution. Institutional design. Constitution of India is a very long and detailed document. Those who crafted the Indian Constitution felt that it has to be in accordance with people's aspirations and changes in society. So, they made provisions to incorporate changes from time to time. These changes are called constitutional amendments. DS, this video covers all important concepts given in the chapter. Please subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.